Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is G. Cole, and welcome to Homegrown, where I get to share with you some good music while talking to some great people. Hello, world. I hope you're feeling as good as I am. I want to big up all my homegrown listeners out there and welcome all the new listeners. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do, so we can keep you updated when new material is available. We will be posting new episodes bi-weekly. Please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Please check out the website, homegrownwithgcole.com, to listen and for all things homegrown. The podcast Homegrown with G. Cole is available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. This is episode 30 and is brought to you courtesy of Ultimate Beach Shades. Are you annoyed by the big tents that are so bulky you end up leaving them in the garage? Or the umbrella that you have to keep chasing down the beach? Well, no more. Ultimate Beach Shades is a one-of-a-kind product. It's like a tent that is not a tent. You can get it in plain, your favorite color, or you can get your flag on it and rep your country. And here's another thing. If you're a business owner, you can advertise on it. You now have a portable advertising billboard wherever you go. You're at your kid's soccer game, you're advertising. You're at the beach, you're advertising. You're tailgating, you're advertising. If you're a tailgater, you can get the optional rear hardware package. Go to ultimatebeachshades.com or call them at 786-447-3377. Tell them G. Cole sent you. It's 786-447-3377. ultimatebeachshades.com. This is genius. I wanna sail away down the rivers of my mind. There is so much peace. Yes. Welcome, everybody. Again, we have the legend himself, Mr. Paul Campbell, in the house with us this evening. And let me just say, first of all, Jamaica is... Our history is rich within the arts. It's robust with legendary names. I'm gonna make sure your mic's on so everybody can hear it. It's rich with legendary names, legendary pieces, but bar none, I think your voice, your face is one of the most recognizable, stemming from the small screen to the big screen. Ladies and gentlemen, you may know him from The Lunatic. He also played the scary, notorious villain priest in Dancehall Queen. And one of the most iconic roles in Jamaican film history, which is your portrayal of Capone in the highest grossing film out of Jamaica. And we're talking about Third World Cop. If you're a fan like I am, you may think of period pieces like Entry Denied.
Wow.
Country of the One-Eyed God. You know what I mean? And you're no stranger to Hollywood either. Just check out First Sunday. All right? You know, it's amazing. Somebody said to me that day, I wanted to drop a so forth. And it's not the regular ones that everybody asked for. They wanted the one from First Sunday.
10 cheers.
Yes. You shared the screen with the likes of the Ice Cubes, the Tracy Morgans, Loretta Devine, Regina Hall, and more.
Yeah, man.
I'm running out of breath trying to put the accolades on the table, but you know what? I'm not running out of words. We ain't got the time. So let me introduce you, ladies and gentlemen. The gentleman sitting next to me, the legend, Mr. Paul Campbell. Welcome.
Thank you very, very much.
The pleasure is
for
mine.
having me, my brother.
The pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine. Man. I explained the singing melody one time. I said, the interviews, we do them, but there's nothing more refreshing than doing them with the people that you really, really want to sit down and talk with. You can talk to anybody, but when you get an opportunity to sit down and talk to the people you really, really want to talk to, it's amazing. I'm going to start with some of your earlier work. All right.
If I can remember.
Some of the stuff, commercial still on. Some of the stuff that brought you to the public eye. Let's talk about The Lunatic.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And I remember watching it at a young age, but it was when I got older that I realized how simplistically profound that piece was.
Isn't it?
It definitely is.
Brilliantly written by Anthony Winkler.
Anthony Winkler, big up yourself. Talk to me about that piece. How did you get involved with that?
I at that time, I used to be the entertainment manager of a couple of hotels on North Coast, but even whilst I was doing that, I still wanted to be a part of the theater, a part of the acting fraternity. So at that time, I was the entertainment manager. I'd now come into Kingston working with a place called Coney Park.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Coney
In
Park.
Ferry, in Ferry
Yeah.
St. Catherine. So from Coney Park, I got a call one day, and it was, would you like to try out? I said, hell yes, of course. I went to try out. Went a second time, and after that, I was informed that listen, you have the part.
Right.
Immediately, needless to say, I went back to Coney Park and I wrote that, that one-liner. You know, I left and I walked from Kingston to St. Anne's.
Walked.
Yes, man. It was all in preparation for the part. You must understand. This was an opportunity now afforded to me after dreaming
Right.
of being
Right.
this actor.
Right.
And not only was I in it, but I was it.
Wow.
Title role and all of that, and there were a couple of people in the periphery who were constantly saying things like, Paul, the actress that you're going to be working with, is really, really good at what she does, So I'm like, oh, okay, so. But there is a wonderful thing about the acting, the art of acting. It's a truth.
Yeah.
You've got to bring a truth to it, and it's so funny that in the business of telling lies, there is
The truth is
truth
necessary.
that must be convince you, right?
Oh man. No, we had spoken a little bit earlier, some time ago, about it. But explain to the masses how you prepared and how you ultimately connected and became the character Aloe.
I thought, well, getting the part was one wonderful thing afforded to me,
Right.
Praise my creator because I know my thing that, ever since I was a tot. All right. And got the part, I locked it, went to my sister, was the only one who really knew.
Right.
Apart from the folks.
Right.
And I left my car at our house. She lived in Red Hills, and I walked from Red Hills. I cut my pants foot, I took off my shoes, I walked barefooted, because in preparing, if you notice how that character had to run on the side of the hill, and you had to be a part of the land.
Right.
And in being a part of the land, you just had to, metamorphosize, absorb,
Yep.
So I did that. That was the first test. It was very painful because of the hot asphalt and all of that. And
Can imagine.
but you became leathery after a couple of weeks. Then all of your fabulous Shottas and all that style goes out the window.
Out the window.
You understand? So then we then call Shitterbush, you're gone, and then you have the river down the road, and you feed yourself by way of the bountiful fruits that we have in Jamaica.
Right.
I sort of hung out above Dunn's River Falls.
Right.
Brethren, mango tree up there.
That's home. That's
All
home for
kind of
me. I'm
fruits,
Ochi all the way. So.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
sours up, sweets up. So that was a really fantastic part of it. The other test for me was to walk into a district and to convince everybody there that I was now their newly elected madman. I did that, and it was wonderful. I felt a little kind of queasy because it was a little bit deceptive.
Right.
But it was important that it never lasted long as the shoot was.
Right.
About a month.
Once the cameras start.
Yeah, but and so it was
But
very helpful.
kind of different.
No, man, the mad was great because I remember when the cameras roll up the hill, I remember somebody from the bamboo say, "Oh no, see ya, look there now. Them are gonna use the man in that movie. Look there, them are gonna use him."
So they were still convinced.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's good, and that's a truth that I talk about. Some other folks call it being a method actor.
Right.
But mine is you've got to find that truth.
Right. Become Aloe. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen the piece, you got to go check it out. Lunatic. And of course, as you hear us talking about the madman, it's because that lead character, that's exactly what he was. And I love it. Now, just like there are certain names that are, heralded in Hollywood and so forth, there are certain names in Jamaica film legacy. that I heralded, the Carl Bradshaws, the Charles Hyatts, the Mad Sinclairs, and stuff like that. For our generation, it's you. You know, a lot of times it's I don't know if it's heavy or not, something to beer, but for our generation, it is you.
Well, if that's so, I will proudly bear whatever it comes with, you know? Yeah, man. For the people, hell yes.
You are the torch bearer. Now, when you started at the Jamaica School of Drama, because you went to School of Drama, right?
Oh, yes. I will.
Did you ever
that was
envision
a
legend?
Story. Huh?
You ever envision legend in your future? At that point?
No, because I tell you what, when I got the opportunity, it was a priest who saw that extrovert glint
Right, right.
and asked, you know, if I'd be interested in going to the School of Drama.
Wow.
And I eventually ended because I was from a very depressed area, Maxfield Avenue, Reben Lane, and this priest would be coming by in his little bug and dealing with the young, poverty-stricken young black people.
Right, right. It's charity work.
Anyways, but that's how I went to
Right.
the School of Drama.
I got you.
And for me, it was just the greatest thing that could ever happen. You know, there were many instances where I couldn't go home because gunshot are popped down the saw. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
So I used to sleep in the bathroom of the School of Drama.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And I remember I saying to myself, listen, I want to be an actor and I can't have mosquito bite me up, so I'd get dressed. I'd get dressed in what I'm wearing the next day, all buttoned up,
And go to bed.
and go to bed.
Wow, wow.
So, but it was important for me to be.
Right.
That was my thing. That was the bug that bit me, you know, so whatever it took, you know, one had to persevere.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
I love it. Now, and I hope, like I said, I'm a fan. I'm sure a lot of people out there are also. Let's talk Entry Denied. That was a piece.
Doozy, yeah.
Yeah, that piece right there. And that was the second film I'd seen of you. And I felt Scotty's pain in that one. You know what I mean? That story, I'm sure if many people were to put themselves in that position, they'd react a whole lot different than Scotty did at the end of that piece.
Of course, because people, it might be a little bit animalistic. I think it's so wrong to say it's animalistic because you just mix up the animal with the decent animals. But
Right.
you know, no, you laugh, but it's true.
It is true though. Poor innocent animals that get caught up in a
You
bottle
know,
of
but
tea.
people have a tendency of quickly becoming something else, you know, when their back's against the wall, you know, and it really does take a strong mind, strong person to really hold out,
Right.
you know, and say, listen, let decency prevail.
Right.
And Scotty's character with that kind of thing, they also trying to point out that, you know, now because you come from the depressed surroundings, that your heart or your mind needs to be depressed.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, man, and I think for many ways, for me growing up there, my fantasies
Right.
were outside of Reben Lane.
Right.
You know, might be in my head, but outside of Reben Lane, yeah.
The irony about it is pretty much, you know, the behavior exhibited by Scotty in the end
Yes.
completely contrasted the behavior that they branded him with, why he never got the visa in the first place.
But this is it, man. You can't judge the book by the cover. I
Right.
mean, you know, you can't speak. At least say something.
Right.
Make them answer. Hear him accent. Hear something. You know, you can hear how aggressive he is in his thinking by listening to his voice. You know, you can hear how docile he is
By
listening to his voice. So chat.
Right.
Yeah, but most people don't do that these days.
No,
Richard.
the listening thing kind of lock off. People not doing that. Now, while we're roaming around the isles of yesteryear,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about that young Paul Campbell. Take us back to your younger days. You mentioned where you grew up, but talk to us. What was life like for you? You're a KC guy too, right?
Oh, yes, a virgin forever and ever. Yes,
Fortis.
Fortis.
You know much Fortis thing to say I come across the Facebook page.
Of course. No, Fortis recognized good color, purple.
Talk to us about a young Paul coming up.
Loved it. Young Paul, ask anybody who they knew what my destiny was going to be.
Right.
Lunchtime, I was under the lignum vitae tree, and I'd be talking about yesterday's latest, hottest TV show.
Right.
I mean, and in talking about it, I had sound effects with it and all of that. In my era, there were the hottest thing in the theaters were the karate films.
Right.
Wang Yo, one-armed swordsman, and I'm making the sounds, and I'm man, fantastic, you know. And I had fun. You know, I wasn't stupid about it though, you know, because I have to keep the grades up because Mama worked too hard.
Yeah. Mama don't play that either.
No, Mama don't play that. Mama has shoes that would turn corner. Mama's slippers turn corner.
Mama don't play that.
So yeah, with all of that, it was fun, and it was always enlightening, you know, and it's always opening up, unfolding, and it's always just fantastic for me that way, you know. And when I got bored of this scene, I moved. You know what I mean? Yeah, I moved because I don't believe. My mother used to say, "Paul, my love, the world is your oyster. You hear me?
Yeah.
You're only born right there, so."
Right.
But look here, bring that map for me. Yeah, bring where you call it Atlas. Yeah, bring the Atlas. You see, yes. You
when he uses words like Atlas, you know
you know it's way back, right? So she points. You see, we are one little dot. You can go. Say,
Wow.
Well, all right, then, Mama, cool now. So the dreams became that, you know, global. You know, and when I watched films and watched whoever the popularity guy might be regarding as the guy of the moment, you know, I said, yeah, he's good, he's all right, you know. I'd love to work with him in that square, you know.
Yep.
Always wanting to be, so my mother always sort of pushed that. She nurtured that. She, you know,
I love it. It's amazing, and I even take it back to my own child. Is you know, we talk, and we think they're not listening, but they are, because those words, those words, you know, who knew?
Yeah, profound.
She spoke it into you. Wow, I love it.
And you see, it's going back to what we spoke about earlier about communicating. You know, especially kids and parents.
Right.
Yeah, just to, you know, you never know what sticks.
You never know.
You know, and just I remember the Atlas.
Right.
You know, a couple pages out of it, but it was still intact, you know. But and it's just from that moment, my thinking was, hey,
the world.
Yeah.
I love it. And amazingly enough, ladies and gentlemen, as we talk about that too, we also have to be conscious of the opposite, the parallels, you know. That's why we always got to speak the positive, because if you speak negativity in your children, tell them what they're not going to be and all that stuff, then you know what? They'll live that too.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, man.
Listen, thank you so much for JBC TV for airing these phenomenal pieces, because the next time, again, I saw you on film was playing Jacko in Country of the One-Eyed Guy.
Oh, beautiful piece adapted Olive Senior's work. There's also a young professional in Jamaica, but well, at that time we were both young. Chris Brownie. He also directed the film Third of a Cop.
Oh, really?
Yes. Very brilliant at what he does.
Right.
He and I had come together, and the one you spoke of before, Entry Denied. We came together with CPTC. And I wrote Entry Denied, and the one you spoke of, Final Verdict.
Right.
That was written in one weekend. I went home. Yeah, I needed to get something done by Monday, Tuesday. I had a crew. It was at the time Mr. Wycliffe Bennett.
Right.
You know, he said, young Campbell, you know, if you were going to get it going, go get it going now. So, with those words of wisdom, you know, I'll go on the Friday night and, of course, I'll club out to the question.
Right.
And then, of course, Monday morning we got there. And, you know, sometimes you only have to think about it, you know. And when I wrote Final Verdict about the priest, the parson, the prostitute, and the gunman, you know, we all have a commonality somewhere.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about that. That's what came up to mind. And we went in and we got it shot in the studio at CPTC.
Right.
Yeah, man. But you see, getting something like that done, it stops there, and that should not be so at that time, you know, and there was no fruit bearing from that kind of effort.
Right.
And if you do Final Verdict and you do the other one and you do and still nothing happens, you know.
It's like it's just passion pieces.
Yes, but how you can't put passion, Mr. Chindo, on passion, you know, you're the man who wants the mortgage, you know, don't want passion instead, you know.
Right.
And that is what I became cognizant of.
Part of the growing process. You see that
understand?
stuff.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, I'm having a blast right here talking to the legendary Mr. Paul Campbell, and I'm going to get to some of you. I'm sure there's questions flooding the thing right about now, so I'm going to drop a tune right about now. This one is Lady T. The song is called Words. One of my favorite right now. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
Smile, a smile to bring you near to me. Don't ever let me find you gone, 'cause that will bring a tear to me. This world has lost its glory. Let's start a brand new story now. My love, right now, there'll be no other time, and I can show you how. My love, talk in everlasting words and dedicate them all to me, and I will give you all my life if you should ever call on me. You think that I don't even believe a single word I say. It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. You think that I don't even believe a single word I say. It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. It's only words.
Yeah, man, ladies and gentlemen, that one is Lady Tia with a song called Words. Make sure you go ahead and check that out, all right? That's a big one. Talented artist. If you don't know her, go ahead and check her out. That song was number one. That was number one on the charts for a couple weeks. Well, you know, so Lady Tia has been doing her thing, and I'm a big fan. Let me just go to this thing here real quick and see what the masses out there. Frida, thank you so much. I know I had the commercial thing on a little bit long. Frida, thank you so much. Jay with the front of burner, big up yourself. LK, thank you so much. Renee, thank you so much. So glad that you guys are seeing everything right now. I'm Precious, Doreen. It's a lot of folks.
Everybody. Yes,
It's
thank
a
you.
lot of folks. Now, as we go on, let's talk about Clash with yourself and Jasmine Guy and Giancarlo Esposito. What was the experience like working with those famous names at the time?
You know, they were so cool and down to earth.
Right.
You're talking about them being famous names, never did strike me as such, you know.
Wow.
Especially Jazzy,
Right.
affectionately known as Jazzy, you know.
Right.
So that was never a
Never
thing.
came up.
Bill Parker, who was the director, was so chilling as well. You know, everyone just cool, down to earth, and we were there to get this project off the ground and make the best of it. And everybody just pitched in and
Lovely.
did a beautiful job, I thought.
Wow. I always wonder about, because, in this day and age how we live in right now, sometimes people don't even achieve anything, 1,000 Facebook likes and, the ego through the roof.
No, man, that's a problem. It's bad, It's bad because, to be very honest, there's some people around me who telling, yo, me an artist, my yo. Me say, you can't spell treble clef. You ever have a music lesson yet? Leave my youth.
Right,
You know,
right.
I mean, them never youth. No, my youth. You have to really have the foundation, and then from then you build on it.
Right.
But everybody is everybody now. The labeling is so easy.
Yeah.
I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
I got 2 million likes, yo. But
It's
this
amazing.
is what's sad, because then what you're doing, you're robbing the other generation of seeing what it really should be.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go to local productions here, and there's nothing about it. There's no production.
Right. It's just local.
It's just local, Bridget. You understand?
Yeah,
There are no spotlights anymore. You remember, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Welcome.
Right.
You remember
None of
them
that.
thing there, and the nice up thing, and the big spotlight, and the drama before that's the show.
Yeah.
There's no show anymore. It's a hustle.
Yes.
It's a hustle, and I think you would, in fact, bring your folks back in if you spend a little time
Right. Do it right.
in doing it right.
I love it.
Because I think what really charismatically so puts you in deep is if you think you know it and you put on a show that is utter crap.
Right.
Them folks who came to see that, they are not coming back.
Right. Brand ruin.
Then at that, man, you kid your own a thing, so spend the time.
Right.
This is why I get really, I can't say pissed off.
Yeah, man,
but
you're
there
good,
you
man.
go. This is why I get pissed off. There you go. At youth, when we get the opportunity and started making the dollars, they don't even bother with the school thing,
Yeah.
They don't even bother learn how to angle the cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, come here. Are you my accountant? Come here. How much money me have now? What? Where's it? Me not have no more. You get yourself up on the thing,
Yeah. Educate yourself in whatever you're doing,
You have to, man. You have to. And another thing that really destroys the folks among themselves is them not supporting each other.
Yes. That is so true. So true.
I'm having this event, and I'll pay a bad mouth you give me this, so my thing succeed.
Right.
But when you're having your event, you all want me come
Support the thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
you
all
know-
over.
But what I'm saying is, if the same amount of people in the vicinity will come on your same way.
Where that come from though? Is it a cultural thing? Is
Yeah,
it
it's what them call BM, bad man. It's the bad man culture. It's the rip down. It's the I don't know where the malignancy there come from still, because that I feel deep.
Yeah.
You know.
It stems deep. It stems deep, and funny enough, it's like, because like sometimes I go to support some people, and they'll be like, "All right, I'm gonna put you on the list." And I said, "Nah, I'm coming to support." You know what I mean? It's all good. We'll pay to come in, and because I keep events too, and when I keep events, I'm not gonna put you on the list because it's all about somebody's up top crunching the numbers. If you have your sponsors, if you have your investors, or whatever the case may be, I can't show them the paper with the 5,000 names on it, but 4,895 of them came in for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we gotta. It's crazy.
There's a lose-lose situation, and then it goes to the artists again, and the actors or the filmmakers who make this sweat and make this film, and they all come together to make it into something worth watching.
Right.
And then before it even gets out there, it's pilfered.
That's another issue. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
understand? And next day, all of that goes down the drain. We need to support each other.
That's long and short of
A
it.
little more.
Not too much to ask, ladies and gentlemen. I do not think it's too much to ask. Now, oftentimes when big companies want to tell the Jamaican story, they'll get the supporting cast from Jamaica, local, for authenticity purposes, and the location. But then they'll cast somebody non-local for the lead role. I get the business part in it, but what's your take on that? How do you think that affects the local film industry?
It goes right back to my first argument about the authenticity, the truth.
Right.
And you can't be giving an English guy something to do that's Jamaican, you know what I mean?
Just don't work
Yeah,
that
yeah.
way.
I wouldn't bother with it, yo, man. I was chopping in your face, brethren. No Jamaican.
And then chew a clot in there.
Yeah, you understand? Yeah. For call it up. Yeah, you hear me, boy? You're the boy, the pussy boy. I say, what?
Yeah.
You understand? So
Trust me.
But the business side says they're trying to make sure that their box office, they get their money at their box office by using this famous name.
Right.
But I think people are they're not into that now.
Right.
Because the competition is between computer graphics now and real people acting.
CGI versus live people.
Yeah, live people, computer, you're up against the computer.
Yeah.
So I think when you do use real people, you should go for authenticity.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because I even
Flavor.
I gotta get the real deal. Because even now I hear about films that are supposed to come to fruition, and it's telling a story that I'd definitely be interested in. But based on
You're talking about Marcus Garvey that was
Marcus
supposed to
Garvey
be shot.
was supposed to be shot.
It was shot, but I don't know, and I wouldn't know what's happened. It's just that I'm just sincerely hoping that they took the time out and the pains to not taint,
Right.
but to research. So when they tell the story, this is why I say we should all be filmmakers so we can tell our own stories.
Yeah.
So incorrect things aren't said about us
Right,
in the
right.
future, and our children, so.
Control the narrative.
Yes, brother. So, I mean, we're not able to distribute the narrative, not yet, but at least write it. This is what it is. This is the truth.
Have some form of contribution to what the narrative will be.
There you go.
Because if you're writing my story, then guess what? I'm not necessarily starring in it.
No, man, hell no.
You
But
know.
it's about me, and it's a truth, and it describes the feeling, and it describes how, and it describes the situation, and it describes every fiber of what's going on, mate. And it's your truth. It's nobody else's to be colored,
Right.
for want of a better word, to, to become psychologically viable to
Right.
the consumer,
It's crazy how anytime you see a docupic come out on somebody's life, right? It's supposed to be a documentary or whatever the case may be. When that piece hits theaters, everybody that's actually associated with the person that it's based on, including the person it's based on, always says that's not the story.
But it's sensationalism. Remember, it's the entertainment business.
Right,
and you
right,
should
right.
never lose sight of that. Some of the most catastrophic disasters you see in films entertaining you.
Right. Right.
The sinking of the West Coast in 2012, people screaming, the earth pulling apart, houses going down.
Right.
That's entertainment, you know.
Never lose sight of that part.
They never lose sight of that.
Never lose
That's
sight.
Hollywood's mantra, you know. So that's how it is, you know. But it's important that you write your thing, you know, and you know there's so many stories to be told.
Yeah.
For the longest while, it's been from one perspective.
Right.
You know,
Right.
what an interesting world we do have. What a rich mosaic of textures and colors.
Mm-hmm.
Then why can't we see it from that perspective as well?
Right. We got to get behind the lenses. Got to dictate some
Yeah,
what's going
then
on.
no, let me say some brothers
Are doing
and sisters
Mm-hmm.
are getting behind the lens and are making their mark. And it's slowly and painfully unfolding.
It's a slow grind.
Yeah,
It's a slow grind. Ladies and gentlemen, we're people say big up priest. Sometimes I wonder when you go right about they're supposed to have like 10 driver's lessons. One's a priest, one's a Capone, so one's a
No,
Paul.
one said Paul. Oh, that's all Uncle Sam needs. The one that says Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with legendary Mr. Paul Campbell. Don't go anywhere, all right? We'll be back. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
Love your love, I say, each and every day. Me say, fi love your life and live it right, yeah, yeah. Tomorrow's not promised today. Live each moment like it's your last, okay. Don't you live it recklessly. Go for what you wanna, let them tell you you can't, no, no. Tomorrow's not promised today. Love your life, praise the Most High, oh, oh. Come in and know you don't know me right. But the principles in life are simple, better get them right. Like, go to school, learn for real, learn for right. Education is a key to move up in our life. Me know you're tired of the suffering and sacrifice. Tired that they catch up sardine and they vulgarize. Sometimes life no nice, you got to think twice. Jah gave you the breath of life. Me say fi love your life and live it right, yeah, yeah. Tomorrow's not promised today. Live each moment like it's your last, okay. Don't you live it recklessly. Go for what you wanna, let them tell you can't, no, no. Tomorrow's not promised today. Love your life, praise the Most High. Every day now you bed or sleep, nothing you have achieved. You call me on the phone complaining you got bills to meet. And I beg a little weed before you plant a seed. Don't make a youth them go astray, go do some evil deed. There's nothing wrong with you, there's so many things to do. Like utilize the wealth and health and strength which I give you. And deal with progress, try your best. Oh. Love your life and live it right, yeah, yeah. Tomorrow's not promised today. Live each moment like it's your last, okay. Don't you live it recklessly. Go for what you wanna, let them tell you you can't, no, no. Tomorrow's not promised today. Love your life, praise the Most High. Say love your life and live it right. And you no bother with the fuss or the fight. And live your life and live it well. The problems in your life don't get overwhelmed. Every day now you bed or sleep, nothing you have achieved. You call me on the phone complaining you got bills to meet. And I beg a little weed before you plant a seed. Don't make your youth and go astray and do some evil deeds. There's nothing wrong with you, there's so many things to do. Like utilize the wealth and health and strength which I give you. And deal with progress, try your best. Me say fi love your life and live it right, yeah, yeah. Tomorrow's not promised today. Live each moment like it's your last, okay. Don't you live it recklessly. Go for what you wanna, let them tell you you can't, no, no. Tomorrow's not promised today. Love your life, praise the Most High.
Yes. Welcome back. That one is J Will and the Raps and Kush Band. The song is called Love Your Life. The album is of the same name, Love Your Life. And if you don't have that one, make sure you go ahead and check it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with legendary Mr. Paul Campbell. Got a lot of people in here. I mean, reenacting your roles. Veronica, bless up yourself. Boy. Sultan Ali, big up yourself. All the Fortis family that's out there. That's
your man Fortis.
Fortis representing strong, man. They're representing really strong. All my Just Music TV folks, make sure you're over here on the Just Music chat room and join yourself with us. Let me go ahead and send you all some strength and some love. Let me see here who's in there. Lady V, thank you so much. Capo, thank you so much. I really appreciate the strength and everybody that's supporting the movement. Paul, when it comes to the music scene, right? It's art, so I kind of run, I don't want to say parallel, but somewhat same scene, same circle. Everyone's going for the crossover. Dancehall and reggae, you know, they're athletes, football, cricket, track and field. We're going for the crossover, primarily because the infrastructure within which they operate may not necessarily be so lucrative at home. However, with those things, if you hit that stride in Jamaica, dancehall music, reggae music, you can earn a decent living, you know? How does that apply to the film industry? Can people there trying to do their thing artistically as an actor or so forth make a decent living, or is the goal just, you know what, we need to get to Hollywood?
No.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
Right there.
Yeah. You can come together, a couple of you, but you can't make a decent living. And that's one of the reasons why I left.
Right.
If I was able to shoot films throughout and become enterprising as far as filmmaking in Jamaica's film industry is concerned, I'd never leave the shores.
Right.
You know, but when you have family, you've got to prioritize, you know, and get it going. You know, you can't be told, you know, we're going to don't worry about it, soon come.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens. And then not only that, but anything passes over the Caribbean water, the pay scale changes.
Yeah. True. Absolutely. We can't cash checks written by passion, right?
Listen, that's it, my brother. When the pay, all of that needs to be fixed. There is a Jamaica for the longest time. This brand that they talk about has no union protecting its people.
Wow.
So it depends on who is running what, when whomever comes in and say, all right, we need 10 people for this. So I say, all right, we'll pay them that. Yeah. Oh, you pay me this and you don't worry how much them I get paid. Yeah, all right.
Agenda is at work.
No, man, if we have it, take the time out.
Right.
To get it set up properly that the Jamaicans who are creative people can eat. You understand? I mean... Wow. You know how sad it is, man, to be on stage and you're doing your thing and you go home and you turn on the light and there's no light.
Wow. That doesn't happen many other places.
But this is what I'm saying to you, Virgin. But yet still somebody who only saw Jamaica in an ad. Decides to come to Jamaica to do a film, and he is a star or whatever, and
we open up the chest.
Oh man, listen, man. You know, we have writers, brilliant writers, brilliant technicians. You know, actors. As you can see now, Jamaican film by Jamaican director Storm Salter does mash up the American Black Film Festival the other day, Harmony Awards. You know, so things are moving, There's growth. But not moving fast enough, Virgin. In Jamaica itself, there needs to be a committee. I've heard of all these committees, you know, ghost-like, spectral in attitude, and nothing happens.
Phantom.
Yeah. Listen, but, you know, we really have to be serious about it. I'm not even, you see, what I do... It's for people. It's not for no particular party.
Right.
Never been my interest.
Right.
It's for people. You know, to make the Jamaican film industry thrive means that the economy will step up, means that more people will work, means a lot of creative people will get their ambitions realized.
Right.
You know, so many wonderful, positive things, but then the way of the world, GREED, rears its ugly head, and then things that used to happen, like, man, growing up, I tell them I'd trade it for no other time.
Yeah.
When I used to grow up in beautiful, sweet Jamaica, you see, August, my youth,
Yeah.
the month of August was a month and a half, brethren, when they celebrate. None of these, all these kids know that probably get an Xbox with the latest game.
Yeah, it's
There
totally
were floats, there were John Connor, there were all this wonderful cultural stuff, aspects of Jamaican life. Celebrated the Tainos, we celebrated the Maroons, we celebrated all these indigenous Jamaican stuff. It's a wonderful thing to remind the younger generation as to who you are in this place, in this world. You are from somewhere. This is your legacy. This is your heritage.
our own
You don't have
idiosyncrasies,
to be
man.
up in this place and feel like you gotta be like this in order to identify, you know?
Yep. It is so true, and it is so painful, because there's nothing to me that I resent, like when I go home and I see culture lost and people. I have nothing wrong. I see nothing wrong with you opening you're broadening your horizons.
No, man,
But
go up there.
don't.
World is your oyster.
Yeah, but you can't replace your own culture with something else.
Sure.
And it hurts. It hurts. And I speak on it a lot. A lot of times I speak to folks, and it's not just about the art, not just about the, I always bring in the business part of it, because you can't get away from that. Ultimately, the lights got to keep on. And if you don't do what you need to do, like I mentioned before, there's no checks being signed by passion. And we, as a people, we embrace the foreign more than we embrace the local, and we do make concerted efforts to protect the foreign more than we protect the local. I've seen it growing up. I grew up.
No, I think if you spend more time in educating your ship, you've got to educate your ship. I think that's where it counts most. Protecting listen, man, spend the time and invest in your ship. Invest in your future Jamaican kids. Some brilliant Jamaican kids.
Brilliant.
Let me tell you something. I say nobody else speak no brilliant in a man.
Yeah.
Because Caribbean people, black people on a whole,
Right.
are compassionate people, loving people, warm people. We're the people closest to what they call wild animals.
Right.
Yeah. Animals are one of the most compassionate beings upon this face of this earth. But things can change you along the way.
Yeah.
Things can change the way you think. If you sit down and see a man light a man on fire, or somebody hurt somebody close to you, how do you feel toward that person?
Yeah.
You know? And what's even worse about that is, all right, you did that. All right, let's make up. We're going to be good now. I'm sorry about that. It will never, ever happen again. Oh, really?
Retaliations and plans.
You know, so my thing is, though,
Yeah.
man, you know.
It's crazy. Savages aren't born, they're created.
Man, love is wonderful. Love is a wonderful thing, you know, but nobody's interested in heading in that direction.
Right.
It's in another direction that everyone sort of, you know, because within that direction comes bling bling. It comes, hey y'all, man, what's up, man? Hey, you got some of that champ? You know what that rock is worth? You know,
Commercialization
but
of
in the
everything.
in the final analysis, you're struck down with some kind of illness and you're in the hospital. Ask any one of them big shot stars who end up in the hospital. All of the stuff means absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
But I just want to say to my own people, whomever governs Jamaica, just take a little time out, you know, constantly, you know, please, and give back to the kids. I mean, people get raped, kids get raped, and kids don't know about kids no more, don't know what it is.
No.
You know, there was a scout. Is there a scout thing still happening? Baden Powell, the scout guy association. I had that to look, you know,
I was
the
a Boy
camaraderie.
Scout.
Yeah, I was a Sea Scout, man. You know, I learned how to sail a boat, the different knots. You know, instead of a knot out something in my handmiggle.
Yeah. The reef
You understand what I'm saying? You all these things that were there for the young folks. What happened?
Yeah, the priorities
What
have
happened?
shifted.
What, the programs are finished? There
Priorities are
is
completely
no
shifted.
money for that program. Where has that money gone?
The money's still there, and the money's been replicated.
the
It's just
money
not going
isn't
in the right
there.
place. It's going because
Money
people are still
gone,
making
that's
the money gone somewhere
it's
else.
Wicked, man. All
crazy.
I'm saying, please,
Right.
just for a little while. Try it for 5 years.
See, it works.
Put back the stuff, please. Put back the festival. People who make costumes get jobs. People who do this cook food.
The industry is bigger than just that. That's the thing they don't realize. It's not just about the artist, it's not just about the actor.
Jamaica has this thing. I mean, when you look at Montego Bay Street, I hear now they're going to be doing a thing and making it into sort of promenade sort of thing. What in Montego Bay?
What, on Pier 1?
Not Pier 1. No, that famous street, man. What I'm called Top Street and Bottom Street.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
So that would be nice, and rename it Jimmy Cliff Highway or Boulevard or whatever.
Right.
But that would be nice, them kind of things, the brethren. That's how you put the brand out.
Yeah.
That's how you give the people them work. Just for 5 years, think about the people.
Yeah. Just for 5 years. See where it goes from there.
Sure, no.
What? You know what? We could go on forever on that one. So I'm gonna come back to this one. Dancehall Queen.
Yes, please, because
Let me come to Dancehall Queen.
I don't do politics, brethren. I don't.
Trust me, we could go.
I don't
I
do
know.
religion either,
I know.
because I think, oh man.
I know the vibes.
Some
I know the vibes. But Dancehall Queen's a classic piece, right? One where your character was played so well. When I say so well, I mean so well that you see everybody right now reciting lines. It was played so well that people think that's who you are. Talk to us on how and what you drew on to play that role.
Well, I needed a job first. It had been 7 years since my last job. I did The Lunatic, and then 7 years later, a phone call came, and Carl said, "Yo, big man, we do a little thing here, A little thing. Always a little thing. Anyways, and of course, I went on to do it. But being where I'm from, you hear them talk about life imitating art and vice versa. Well, I just kind of step out of Reben Lane and step onto the set of Dancehall Queen.
Right.
I had seen the happenings. I know what it is to wake up in a tenement yard.
Right.
I know what it is to wake up and you see a nozzle pointing in your face. So, with all of that attitude, when I brought it to the role, which I thought was interesting, I sort of went a little further by bleaching my hair and sort of put some serpent-looking eyes. I changed the the color of my eyes because you see, it's the art as well. Other than being the scary character and all of that.
Yeah.
As a fine artist, when I paint, when I compose on a square, it's pretty much the same thing as an actor.
I got you.
For me, I color this person with this one face that I've used for 10 million different roles.
Right.
Sometimes my mask that I hide behind can be contact lenses, as small as that. But then I can metamorphosize and become monster behind those. You understand?
Right, yeah.
So I'm always changing everything. My thing is details. In The Lunatic, I stopped using my right arm and started using my left arm. Because it changes your posture.
Okay, I got you.
And so you're no longer Paul. So you're divorcing yourself from who Paul was. How he walked is very different from. Another thing that's been very challenging for me is being the bad man, being so much different villainous guys,
Right.
You don't want them to look any similar way. Priest, Dancehall Queen.
Right.
I really wouldn't like him looking anything like Mad Max,
Right.
So I kind of had to make Mad Max extremely psychotic.
It's an understatement. Oh my lord.
So that's the beauty of what I do. Why I love it, the challenge.
Right.
of morphing into something, else and being as convincing, Yeah, man.
I had a conversation with somebody before. They were talking about, most people because a lot of people play villainous roles all their career and stuff like that, to the point where you deem it even somewhat typecast. But the truth is, they're all different characters. What you get from them all, you get the villain. They're a villain, but they're all different people.
You know what I like about the villain as well? I like playing a villain with heart.
Right.
Although he may pretend, and what I do with all of the characters that I get, whenever I get a script and I have to execute a character, I give them backstories, justification as to why I'm doing this.
Right.
Dancehall Queen Priest, if you notice, he's always biting his jawbone. It's turmoil, constant turmoil.
Right.
For him, I give him some sort of backstory, like he was an orphan, moved from one orphanage to the next.
Right.
Always I get beaten. But when he was 11, he stabbed the guy who used to turn the lights out at the orphanage.
Right.
But these are just stories that I make up in my mind to say this
To create
character.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how detailed I become.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing. You see the character on screen, but you don't see all the things.
Yeah,
that-
the preparation, but as an actor, that's what you do, And when he walks into the square on screen, you're like, damn, this nigga again?
Yeah,
because he's there and he's breathing short breaths and he's tightening up his jaw. You know something is going on in his head, you know?
Right.
So, without a word said.
Yeah. This guy's up to no good.
Yeah. Yo, that better get my gun, yeah, man.
You know what I'd love to see though? Like just totally different. Like you playing like a doctor on a TV show, a paraplegic in a wheelchair.
Oh, it's so funny.
Vulnerable character.
We were shooting something last year and it closed down. We were shooting Top Shottas.
Talk to me about that, because I heard about that too.
No, I don't have much to say about that. Not really. All I can say about that is it closed down.
It closed down.
I was playing a prosecutor. And I got an opportunity to speak in this manner. So I was now able, all my suits were $5,000 and $7,000 worth.
Wow.
And I was driving Aston Martin Lagondas and that kind of cars.
Right.
So then I'm lucky dog, brother. All right. I suspect one of these days some light will be illuminated and we'll find out why. But that was how it was. But I also, you might not be aware, I play in a Shakespeare film.
Yes, I did do the research on some of that stuff. Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet in Harlem.
Yes. Talk to me about that.
I do. That was very well, it's a training as well, know. And then there comes an opportunity to get it done. I get a phone call. A friend of mine say, "Hey, listen, you remember Ghost?" I said, "Ghost, Jennifer Taylor." Yeah. You know, the director's doing this film, Harlem Shakespeare. I said, "Well, that's Alita Chappelle." Well, I worked with Alita Chappelle many years before in a film called The Return of Fire.
Right.
So we got hooked up, and I walked on set for a couple of weeks. And I did my sort of thing,
You went William on him.
There you go, mate. For the short time, thank God. I was out of there. Yeah.
Man. The other thing I'd probably love to see you do too. Is
I have a film coming out sometime in another couple of months called Storm Cell.
Really?
Yeah, with this actor / iconic football star, Lawrence Taylor.
Man, LT,
Such
what?
a cool brother, man. Yeah.
Cool guy to work with?
I'm looking, I play his younger brother with an Alabama accent, so.
Right.
All of them people that all things
We just do the one thing. I love it. And it's going to be coming to, of course, that's going to be big screen.
Yeah, they're going for big screen. So as soon as the details unfold, I'll definitely let you know. Man.
Definitely got you.
Homegrown is saying up.
Easy. We appreciate it. Listen, for Hollywood and everybody that's listening, characters. I want to see Lion King 3. I need to hear the voice of Paul Campbell in there, all right? One of them Transformers, one of them
I
Autobots.
tried for that, I tried for Lion King on Broadway once. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And sang Night. And the guy said, too much vibrato. Next.
There went that.
And it's Jamaican thing, Night. And I have all of this vibrato
Right.
going.
Vibrato. I kill them. They're like, okay.
The guy said, could you use less vibrato, please?
Like, no, this is what I got.
That was that. Just a sort of road go,
I love it.
Roads, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Mr. Paul Campbell. Don't go anywhere. Keep it moving. Keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Only Jah know when I'm feeling like I'm feeling. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I need Him, like I need Him. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I'm feeling like I'm feeling, Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I need Him, like I need Him, Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. Whenever things get tough, whenever things get hot, I pull out Moses and head up to the mountaintop. I fall upon my knees and then I pray non-stop. I send my blessings up, you let your blessings drop. That's what I've always done, what I've always seen, my granny always do. And she taught to me, I'ma teach to mine, my little kings and queens. Whoa, when I'm feeling like I'm feeling, Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I need Him, like I need Him, Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. Another day goes by, another plot revealed. One man a planting farm, one a rob and steal. One have a hard love story, said he needs a meal. Need to feed him kids, correct, I know it feel like just giving it up because his faith is sealed. But never place your bets before the deal a deal. You know the hottest fire makes the hardest steel. Like I'm feeling, Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I need Him, like I need Him, Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. Even if I'm breaking inside, He forsaketh me never. No. My faith is stronger than pride. Jah is with me forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Forever. When I need Him, like I need Him, Jah, you never yet let me.
Yes, and that one is yours truly, G. Cole and the Raps and Kush Band. That song is When I, it's from the album Ocherius. Of course, Ocherius is my hometown, so we got to celebrate it, all right? I want to thank everybody else. That's Tammy, UK. I know the time difference. She's on there right now, you know what I mean? Listening in and having a good time. Donna Henry, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Mrs. T, Elonia Taylor, love what's going on. Roy Sweetland, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just love everybody that's on, and we appreciate you.
Yes, Mr. Sweetland.
Easy. That's my man right there, Roy. It's like a good guy. Great guy. Yeah. Amazingly enough, underneath the rough edges of these characters in these movies, there's always an underlying message, though.
Of course.
I always notice that there's always an underlying message. Now, that being said, are there any type of roles that you're opposed to doing?
No, not really.
The art's the art.
No, they aren't. As an actor, no.
Right. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, Virgin.
You morph into the character, make the character come alive, and it is what it is.
That's a job.
Right.
As an actor.
I love it.
Yeah, you know, where do I pick up that? There, I pick the check up. Thank you. Yeah, that's it.
I love it.
That's
I love it.
You know,
And I'm a huge fan, so most of my questions come from pure fandom. But tell me this: who artistically awes you? Who is it that you say, man, it would be a dream come true to work with this person? Not just because the opportunity might be lucrative, but just because you'd like to work with them. Which actor out there, which doesn't even necessarily have to be an actor, but whomever that you would love to work with?
I'd love to work with Denzel, man.
Denzel?
Yeah, I'd love to work with Denzel.
Training Day 3,
I'd
put it
love
out
to
there.
work with Jeffrey Wright.
Right.
I
Genius.
think, yeah. Oh,
Genius.
yes, but,
Genius.
You know, when we touch these people's names, you know, I'd love to work with the Virgin Day with me, Akil Wandel, Ajulu. What's his name?
I can't pronounce it, but I know 12 years a
know,
slave.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hate to make that reference, but I think he was in 2012. He was the dude in 2012. Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
There you go. Yeah. But I like him very much as well. You know, them are the cats that I'd like to work with. I like Al Pacino.
Right.
You know, early Al Pacino.
Right.
You know, Devil's Advocate.
Yeah.
You know, I like him there.
Legendary.
Serpico.
Yeah.
You know, he was very good as Michael as well in Mario Puzo's Godfather.
Yeah. To the point where people can't sometimes, you have that one iconic role. He has tons of them.
Yeah, but
that one iconic role that is it.
Yeah,
I love it. It's no different from that one song.
True.
You know, I love it.
But you see, the thing is, I like, you know, different actors for what they bring to the table. You know, so it will be joy working with all the names that I spoke of. Yeah.
Love it.
And the more eclectic and kind of weirdo, the better. You know, because
Johnny Depp, give us a call, Johnny Depp.
Yeah, it's the feel.
Yeah.
What's his name? Johnny Scissorhand.
Oh yeah, Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Edward
movie freaked me out as a
yeah.
kid, but he's genius.
Yeah.
He's genius. And my wife can't get over those Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Man. She loves it.
I kind of like this CGI stuff.
Yeah.
But
it takes it to a different level.
Yeah.
Now, one of the best on-screen contrasts that I've seen, and I'm not just talking about Jamaican film, I'm talking about in film overall, was that of you and Mark Danvers as Ratty in Third World Cop.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Mark Danvers, man, that brethren he knows the work. There is a particular place that you go as an actor when you're working in front of the camera. I've seen him there, so you know, I know he can. Yeah, you know, and it was great working with him, but I haven't seen him these days. Not much.
No. And I've been trying to reach out and stuff like that, and he's just, you know, elusive.
Well, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I'm not into that anymore. Maybe he's in another side of the thing, but whatever he's into, I wish him Godspeed.
Right.
Yes, brother.
Love it. Ratty.
Oh, yeah,
Third World Cop. I'm telling you, that film right there is legend. I remember when that film came out, every person that I know owned the film. Don't know whether that's legit or bootleg or whatever the case may be, but everybody
it's a great
owned
story.
it.
The storyline is a great story. And I remember I lived in a place where there was a guy who got a cut in his face.
Telephone cut.
Yeah, and I remember him saying, and I used to look at the guy who cut him in the face every day.
Wow.
And him say, I go turn police for that boy there, you know.
Wow.
And so said, so done, brethren.
Wow.
The fateful day when the Jeep drive up with a soldier there, and my boy with a cut in him face.
Yeah.
And guess who was stand up outside there? The guy who cut him, you know.
Yep. Your time has come.
You know, so it's that kind of thing, but it does happen, you know.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. It's amazing. Again, the backstories behind these films. Sometimes you think it's just some screenwriters in the back creating it. They create the blueprint, but you bring.
Man, I'm sitting on a wall, Dancehall Queen. There is a scene where this kid is running out of Mark. is running out of the bar. And he's spooked by me. I'm biting somebody's ear and he's spooked and I'm running out of the bar and I catch him. And I say, "We are Runga boy." And then I begin to open the knife with my teeth.
Wow.
I saw that as a youth sitting
Real
down.
thing.
He real a man grab a youth, push him up against the wall, and open the knife with him teeth and shove the knife down in the man's face and run it down.
Cut him over.
From where I was sitting, I could see the man's teeth.
Wow.
I mean, between him, through
Right,
his
right,
face,
right.
you know. But I saw that, and I never forgot, because when this virgin had bare him teeth, it looked like an animal, you know. And of course, you know, the saliva come out and
Snarl.
and it hot, and him say, "Oh, the blood, yo, oh."
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and him say, "Yeah." I'm like, yo, I must have been about 11 or 12, you know.
Wow.
But the image stayed, and Dancehall Queen come up, and I know pull it nudge my teeth each time I did it, but just for the shot.
Right, right.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was important. Yeah,
We're taking it there.
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love
don't try this at home.
it. Ever. Now, people would crucify me if we didn't talk about the cult classic film, Shottas.
Shottas is indeed a cult classic. Yes.
So is.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, it's a mix of the entertainment and the mix of what's going on, and a mix of ambitions and a mix of aspirations and a mix of everything. And it's also a poopery of the Jamaican American connection.
Right.
You know, what sort of transition that beautifully was Kimani, the actor who spoke with it. Yo, we are dealing, and them say, "Yo, man, tell your goons to sit down, nigga."
Yeah,
So yeah, he
big.
transitioned. Yeah, big, yeah. So he transitioned.
Right, right.
You know, which just made it smooth. And what it is the truth again that's popping out. Why we're so comfortable with this, why we're so familiar with it, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we're used to in Miami.
Yeah. There's some reality in there.
Everybody talking, them only go away, and you hear the Asian do him thing. Sack pass here, and then before you say, you're in a Yankee man, you say, yo, him change and him
Straight up.
sleeping in him Yankee. Yeah,
Yeah,
dog,
yeah,
what
yeah,
up?
yeah,
What
yeah.
up, Nick?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
you know, so it's what it
Yep.
is. And that piece of truth, I think, brought Shottas over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Shottas is beautiful work, and that's another thing too. When remember I was saying Dancehall Queen, I mean Third World Cop. I think everybody I knew had it. When it came to Shottas, everybody who I knew and
Now, who
everybody
you
who I
never
did
knew.
not know. You know what I mean? Bless up all the Just Music family, Lady V, Clyde, Errol. Big up yourself. Thank you so much for logging in. We got so many people logging in right about now, checking out what's going on. I love it. I love it. I love it. The catalog, brother. The catalog.
Yeah, it's been some lengthy somewhat. I tell you though, you know, I wanted to do that to make sure that I had a body of work.
Right.
And in doing that, when it even was really, really, really tough in Hollywood, I remember going in, you know, and I started doing independence with my own folks,
Right.
hoping that it would grow. But there are many films that I've done that hasn't gone anywhere.
Right.
You know, and so I remember there was a film that was in Los Angeles. I went to audition and I got the part. And I don't know, before they started shooting, I didn't get the part anymore. But the explanation was, you know, Paul, here in Hollywood, the directors have cliques. And well, you know, Spike Lee likes to work with particular actors and DPs. Same could be said of Scorsese. You understand?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Clicks run deep.
I said, you know what? I better go get me a clique somewhere. I said, thank you so very much.
Appreciate the knowledge.
You know what? And then I was out of there. So I got this side, got back this side, and yeah, man. But it never stops, you know.
work goes
50% of the business is rejection.
Right. And you learn to deal with that as you go on.
Yeah, you know, the thick skin. You've heard people in the business talking about acquiring the thick skin to take the rejection. Well, after that rejection I got, the name of the film was After the Sunset with Pierce Brosnan and Selma Hayek.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But they got my brother the job. It was good anyway. He was a member of the clique. I wasn't. Yeah, man, but that's how it is, man. You have to grow the skin and pop back.
Yeah.
I went into depression a couple months after that.
After that?
Yeah, but a great actor. Everybody trying to be the actor in L.A. A friend of mine, brother, you know him very well. Gunther, Jeffrey Gunther. He was in Mark for Death.
Right.
Yeah, he came and knocked up my man. Get
out of the funk.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, man, this is how it is, man. There's a script. Go on, study the line, them. Yeah,
you need that, though.
Yeah, what?
You need that guy.
I needed that because that sort of, gave me a, hey, listen, this is how it is.
Yeah.
This is your damn dog.
Yeah, it's Hollywood.
And so, yeah, man. So I learned,
Sleep it off. Get it back and let's do this again tomorrow.
Yeah. Bounce back, Bridget.
I love it. Now, speaking of Hollywood, too. A lot of people, and this probably they'll know you from. You're an actor. You're a trained actor, right? Who studied and invested years in your craft. Then a role comes along, and I've heard this argument from most people in Hollywood. A role comes along. It's available, but then it goes to somebody who's not a trained actor or whatever because they're famous. They're bringing a sort of clout to it in terms of commercialism. Have you ever had to deal with that where you're losing a role to somebody who's not even an actor because he's...
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man. But you see, you can't get bent out of shape.
Right. The business.
It's the
business.
The that's the part of the show business. That's the business part.
Right.
And it's caustic.
Yeah.
Especially if it's falling on you. It's caustic, and it'll burn a hole in your chest,
Right.
You get out of there once you start smelling the fumes, Yeah.
Wow. Because I hear that all the time, and as I watch these, behind the stories and stuff like that, it tends to happen a lot more than not. And with a portfolio though as vast as yours, you still got to audition for films, or somebody just call you and say, "Hey,
hell yeah!"
You still do.
I mean, I'm also very fortunate in that when there are people who are writing with me in mind.
Right. Okay. I got you.
You understand? So that's good too. But there have been instances. The other day I had to be doing a couple of tapings for, some stuff happening in Atlanta in the guise of TV.
Right.
But yeah, man, you still, listen, that's the man's job. You want me to? Yeah, well, sure.
Right.
Yeah, man. I'm never too big to audition.
I love it.
I'm never too big.
It's like it's the nature of the nature of this business itself. It doesn't allow you to get away from humility.
No, it's me, you, them, keeping me. You talk about homegrown. Talk about homegrown and keep your level,
They say these kids gotta eat.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Lord.
it's good. I like it though because it's real,
Right.
Then if it's real, it sort of fuses to the other avenues of my life, like in my art.
Right.
So my art looks great and it happens, But if it's not real, the art won't, So I've got to keep it real, and I'm aided by my family, my sisters. Well, I remember one day my sister was being interviewed.
Right.
And the interviewer said, so, tell me, your brother is such a villain in all these films. What's he like at home? She said, Paul, villain. If you stamp your foot too hard, Paul, run down. So, telling you this, Bridget, you I can't be
Where's
flying.
Priest?
Yeah, you can't be flying up in my family. You go sit your ass down. Yeah, man. So yeah, it's cool too.
Is a priest don't live here?
No, he left him outside. Leave all of that because my mom was An absolutely fantastic woman when it came to, keeping that family thing intact and
Right.
whatever goes on out the street, leave it out there. Once you open this door to come into this house,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mama don't play that.
Mama don't play that, and you're not going to bed upset.
Right. I love it.
Yeah, you're not going to bed upset. You might go to bed hungry, but you're not going
Not
to
upset
bed
at all.
upset. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, I'm sure of this. Many actors, many producers could benefit from your experience and your expertise. Do you have any plans to get behind the camera, directing, writing?
Oh, well, I mean, I love your extensive search, but I've been, you didn't check that out.
I didn't see it.
I
No, I
videos by Poppin' Pocket. I do videos. I direct. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Talk to me about some of
I've
that.
been doing some of that. I produced with a couple of people here a film called The Heart of Summer. It's been about 4 years or 5 years ago.
Right.
And we shot here locally in Fort Lauderdale.
In Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, man. And beautiful film. It's just, then again, you see how it is on the shelf.
Right.
It's gone nowhere because, you hear people talking about a film is made 3 times: when it's written, when it's shot, and when it's edited.
Right.
But what they never tell you is that you have to have a hookup
To get
to
it out.
get a deal at the distribution. You understand that? So there are so many films being made,
Right.
and them sit on pan shelf are never gone away.
Right.
Or you do a Master P, put them in the back of your car and
do
drive
it
from
yourself.
there. Yeah, you understand? But
Yeah.
but the thing is the distribution, So it truly is. You must have all of the dots connected in order to be successful in this business.
Right. Talent alone is not ever going to be.
No, and that is, man, sometimes I wear 27 and a half caps, trying to cover all of the places,
Right.
But it is different stages that you must get through, and I have execute right, else you can't be a success at it.
I love it. I love it. Now, and for those who don't know, because sometimes the music industry, we can find information out on a lot easier. The film industry is just, I heard this film is being made, and then it either out or it not out. Sometimes music don't make it to wherever it's supposed to be, but you go find it on Amazon, or you go find it on whatever the case may be. When you work on these films and put the blood, sweat, and tears in, and it doesn't make it to the screen, be it the small screen or the big screen, does it go out at all to where you can go find it somewhere, or it's just it's literally the vault?
It depends. There's a film I did called Machete Joe. And Machete Joe I did about 10 million years ago in L.A. With Ernie Hudson and all them folks. They, my girl from Fame, what's her name? Gorgeous woman. Played Coco. Yeah, she was also Erica Gimple.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was a part of the cast. There was a brother who's 2 Jamaican brothers, Gordon Green and Howard Green, who were the producers.
Right.
And I think they made a deal. They made a deal with a distribution company by the name of Phase 4. And nothing ever happened. Yo, that thing there go. And the dollar span that thing there. Yo, Paul, we've not been able to get anything on that. The people still claiming what they spent, and we still waiting.
Right.
Let me tell you something, man. So it's important that if you are going to go to do this, make sure that you are connected.
Yeah.
Because it's so disheartening to have gathered the chips, write the script, put it into motion, go through all of them days shooting that thing, go through the post-production, putting in all what you need to do, the sound, whatever, and then you have a film.
Right.
For sale.
Right.
But to whom are you selling it?
Right.
Do you know a director of acquisition with any, Lionsgate or, MGM? Whom do you know?
Right.
Overbrook. Do you know any of these production companies? No, you don't.
So there goes another.
Or do you know somebody who knows somebody who could walk it in?
Right.
No, you don't. So that's another thing, And But I would I'd say to filmmakers or people who shoot anything with a camera, never stop, because footage is king.
Right.
And you see that every day in the movies. And I'll tell you an example. At the very last scene in The Matrix, when the man sits there in the chair in that empty room except for monitors, hundreds of monitors, footage is king. All right? Get that camera going, you know.
Wow.
Footage is king. So never stop telling your story in whatever way, shape, or form. But always, stylized shooting is great as well. But, you know something about lighting.
Right,
because
right.
it tells a story better even. Can you imagine when you do a nice like a blue light on the black skin another night there?
Right.
You know, like a white light from underneath. Just the woman's skin glows.
Wow.
You know, full lips. What?
Knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. We're dropping point right here. And the thing is, ultimately, also, we keep going back to business. I've had some interviews
Show
already.
business, baby.
Show
Yeah,
business.
man.
Yeah, man. It's we talk to entrepreneurs. We talk to a lot of different people, and it ultimately comes back around. Oftentimes, is that whatever you're doing, there's a part of it that needs to be in line and in order, and that's the business side of it. If that part of it is not in line and in order,
You can forget it.
you're not gonna.
You can forget it. You can forget it. And many things that have started round us down and stopped. It's because, it's just as you say.
Right.
You know, business is, it's not being adhered to. No one's,
Yeah.
Crazy, man. But you must. This is why, again, gone right back to the thing of education. You can't come up on a money and want to do a movie and educate yourself about it.
About the business.
Something about it. Other films like the genre that you're wanting to produce, how have they done in this market?
Right.
At least look upon that.
Right.
Did they fare well? You know, what are the markets like? And these things at your tip of your finger, it's on your phone.
Yeah. Google's right there.
Yeah. You know, Google know everything. Did I have sex last night, Google? Yes, you did. Oh, thank you. I knew something was bad. Yeah,
Something you want. Google, can we take that down, Google? Because I was out of town.
Oh, they have the one who is in your bedroom now,
Alexa, oh, Lord.
Alexa says it.
Oh, man.
Yes, you farted, Mr. Campbell.
Twice.
Yeah, thank you, Alexa. Yes, all right. But, yeah, man, you have to really, be aware of all of the aspects of filmmaking.
Right.
You know, if you're an actor, it's good to know that too.
Yeah.
So, when you see the man set up the shot a particular way, you say, oh, you're the band close up now. All right, cool.
Right.
So it's always good to know all aspects of the business. You know, I write. The only thing that I'm not really able to do in this business, not quite good, not yet, is editing.
Right.
But if I sit with my engineer, I know I can edit on the move. I know exactly how to edit. But yeah, man.
Got to know the business.
Brethren, you have to
Inside
put on
out.
all the hats. I mean, and when you, as I did, grow up in Jamaica, I painted the set of Entry Denied. I got the clothing.
Right.
Listen, man.
Costume, the whole nine is you.
Everything. I wrote the piece, everything.
Wow.
So.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing it right here. A lot of this info you haven't heard before. And as a matter of fact, when we come back, we're going to talk about some different endeavors. We'll talk about some different endeavors. Listen, when he says many hats, we're talking about fedoras, caps, all kinds of something. Buried, all kind of things. So don't go anywhere. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
No more. Burn it to the burner. Say no more. No more. It's crazy. Ain't gotta say no more. No more. We love life though. No more. No more. I ain't got to say no more. Streets, it ain't the same no more. Kids can't play no more. And the babies got to stay indoors. I ain't got to say no more. Place, it ain't the same no more. Kids can't play no more. I wish the days were like before. Cause everywhere you look and turn now, it's murder. Another house just burned down. Why? When dark
clouds rain down like bullets spraying rounds. Everybody gotta stay down. I ain't got to say no more. Streets, it ain't the same no more. Kids can't play no more, and the babies got to stay indoors. I ain't got to say no more. Place, it ain't the same no more. Kids can't play no more. Can we take it back to the feel good music, real good times? Yeah, we used to show love all the time, Lordy. Ever since when we got so wild, yeah, eh. Coulda now everybody them poppin' style, Lordy. I ain't got to say no more. Streets, it ain't the same no more. Kids can't play no more, and the babies got to stay indoors. I ain't got to say no more. Place, it ain't the same no more. Kids can't play no more. I wish the days were like before. Days were like before. Days were like before. Oh Lord, I ain't got to say no more. Streets, it ain't the same no more. Kids can't play no more, and the babies got to stay indoors. I ain't got to say no more. Place, it ain't the same no more. Kids can't play no more.
Yeah, man, that one is Jayut the Ferna Burner. The song is called No More. It's on the Preservation Rhythm. Make sure you check out Jayut the Ferna Burner, one of the wickedest artists around town right now. We've been talking a lot of things, man, talking about a lot of ventures and so forth. God willing, you got a lot of time ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy to be what I'm doing now. I'm painting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling stories in my canvases.
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing.
Right.
I'm making sure that I tell stories too that will uplift
Mm-hmm.
and remind you as to where you're from.
Right.
You know, so that is pretty much what I'd like to leave. You know,
Leave the masses with.
yeah. Well, the masses for those of us who want to hear.
Right.
Yeah.
For those open to listen. Because again, people get caught up in, and it's the optics. You know, the screen's there. We like entertainment, so we're caught up in that. And there's so much more that you do. But another thing I always wonder too is this: with your experience, all that you've seen in the business, you've seen it from every angle. Just like the cameras, I've seen it from every angle. If your kids decided, hey, Dad, this acting thing we want to get into, you know, what would you encourage them and say, hey?
Pass the cutlass.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Go own the studio.
Right.
Yeah. And then hire the actors.
Approach it from the other angle.
Yeah. The business. Don't do the show. Do the business show.
Right.
Approach it from that side.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, let's talk art. The word art is so vast. There's visual arts, there's the musical arts, there's the theatrical arts, but you're a painter.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about 3D Art Way.
3D Art Way, yeah. Jamaicans, Mark Cameron, AJ Brown, and myself, we're all fine artists. Mark cooks, what's the adjective I'm looking for? Devilishly. And AJ sings beautifully, classically trained.
Right, yep.
And I mess about. But so we thought we'd combine that with the art and put a show together.
Right.
Which has sort of become 3D Art Way. They're the galleries where the paintings are at, and there's a theater where Paul, Mark, and AJ perform. We're about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Wow. And we are, later on in August, we are opening 3D Art Way in Pompano at the Allied Galleries. So we're looking forward to that. I mean, it was all right the last time. We performed at the Art Basel in Miami. You know, and since then we've been getting calls about, you know, what happened, man? Let's have this again. Let's have this
Right.
again. And I'm talking about calls from outside of America as well. So,
Right.
yeah. So we decided, listen, guys, let's do this.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get you three guys back in here one day so we can talk to the masses.
What
about
it
that.
is too, it's a combination of Jamaican dance, their song, and their food. Because what Mark concentrates on is the finger food, you know, the kung fu, the
Right.
the dip and fall back, all that kind
I
of.
say too much about that. I'm
yeah,
there.
you know, yeah, that kind of thing. And then, of course, the brilliance of he does an operatic piece as well.
AJ?
AJ, yeah. And listen, man, AJ paints beautiful.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And some of his art will be there too.
His art, and that's the thing with us. We all paint.
So that's the
And
commonality.
so that's a commonal, and then at the same time, the other part of it is that AJ does the singing, I'm the actor, and Mark is the cook.
That sounds rather interesting. It
Yeah,
also
man.
sounds different.
And we have fun because you know it's never a dull moment. The three of
Right.
us, you know.
Right.
So it's
I'm looking forward. August.
Yeah. August, the exhibition will be up for 2 months, August through to September. But we'll perform probably 4 nights out of the 2 months.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man,
That's
because
gonna
it's
be
hectic.
8 because there's gonna be a lot of people that's not gonna get it and they're gonna want more. So
I
4,
know,
we're gonna say
I
8.
know. I say 4 for now, but we'll see. We'll see.
Now you are a true philanthropist, right? We're talking about
Dos Exois, the man with all the
with all of them. Talk to me about the Medgar Evers project.
What I like to do, instilled by my mother again, you know, is to give back.
Right.
And in doing so, I have a wonderful friend by the name of Andreen Bonner, who is a teacher / novelist. She her latest book is called Olympic Gardens. She's doing very well. She teaches at Medgar Evers and had invited me a couple of summers to come in and direct.
This is New York?
New York, yes, and Nostrand Avenue, and I came in and directed Harlem Renaissance. It's a piece on the Harlem Renaissance, you know, a little bit of the history. And it's wonderful because then for some of the kids who were there, it was the first time they were hearing Zora Neale Hurston, they're hearing Dizzy Gillespie, they're hearing all these greats, you know, Marcus Garvey, all these people of that era, that time, you know, these are iconic black folks.
Who they
you
probably
know.
would have not heard about otherwise.
Right, you know, and so I was given an opportunity to get them going. So we took it all the way back from when they came here to America and come all the way down to the ages, to the period of Zora Neale Hurston. Yeah, man, a wonderful piece and brilliantly written by Andreen Bonner. So I was very fortunate in that. I also have an initiative called Shoot with a Camera, Not with a Gun, which I have been doing like at Mount Vernon High School, different high schools in America.
Right.
I've been given a citation by the mayor of New York City in regards to seeing. Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah, man. The other day I was also honored by the universities of Connecticut.
Wow.
You know, I mean, for my contribution. But it's great that you can give back. You
It's
know,
rewarding. Very
man,
rewarding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, because, you know, as I sit here, sometimes I think, damn, I wouldn't have to go to Walgreens if I just listened to what my grandmother would say. What a bush lenium. What a bush lenium. Yeah,
True that.
Yeah,
True that. True that. That's why grandma lived to 120.
Yeah, but I wasn't listening when Granny said, Paul, go pick that baby. I said, well, no, Mom. I should have gone, yeah?
Yes, I listen to granny. If you don't listen to granny,
But-
something.
right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I love
man.
it.
But that's it, man. You give back, and whatever opportunity that you have to do so, you should.
Right. To whom much is given, huh? To whom much is given.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Give these talents, and the best thing about it is sharing it with the world.
You know, my initiative, what it is, what I do, I go into schools like for 2 days. The first day I go there, I meet with the students. We talk about who wants to be the film star, who wants to be the writer, all of the different aspects of filmmaking. And then I'm left with 10 or 25 students. And then I say, okay, what sort of story should we tell?
Right.
And they all come up, chime in with different ideas.
Right.
I tape all of this. I go back to the hotel that night. And in the morning, I have a script.
Wow.
And then there are those of us who want to become writers. There are those of us who want to become cameramen. So I pair those students with a real cameraman, you know, and I pair the real sound man, and a real lighting guy.
Right.
So, yeah, and the greatest part of all of this, after going, then what we do, the second day we go out and we shoot the film in one day.
One day.
One day. And of course, before the end of the day, I get an editor ready on standby. I'm going to write something that doesn't need a lot of editing and all of that.
Right.
But yes. And we did this, and the editor got it done, had all the kids' names on it and all of that, starring so-and-so, you know.
Right.
So the greatest part of all of this exercise is just to watch these kids' faces.
Wow.
Because when they see themselves on the screen and their names attached to creative director John Thomas, you know, and you see John's face and he's smiling so wide, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's that kind of thing. And the more I do this, the more in which I become, because I know that something will stick. On one, even one, you know. Right. If it's one, it's good. But something will stick.
I love it.
Yeah, man, you know. So I continue doing this. And, yeah, I wish people are professionals who get into the business of that affects people should always pass it on.
Always. And trust me, on behalf of the listeners out there, I appreciate that. I'm sure the kids appreciate it. Their families appreciate it. You don't know the impact you're leaving, the footprint you're leaving on somebody's life. Because you're just doing you. That is you.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Always do you.
You know? 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, you don't know. Now, we're accustomed to the screen. Now we're being introduced to the visual arts, right? The painting and so forth. A lot of people aren't even that familiar with the fact that you do a lot of theater, you know what I mean? Jumbie Jamboree, Shakespeare, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I did theater before all of this. Yeah.
Now, I consider you a true thespian, right? Now, when it comes to thespians and what I like to say, purists of the arts, sometimes, you know, they like to choose one. You have some people who like the operas and they detest everything else and so forth. When it comes to stage,
I prefer
theater,
stage.
you prefer theater to the camera.
Because the camera affords you a lot of mistakes. You can then 10 takes on one particular thing.
Right.
But the theater,
You got one shot to get it right.
one time, brethren.
Right.
You know, you get out there and when the curtain parts and you feel the anticipation of the people sitting there in the dark because you don't see them.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And once you're into your thing and you hear them chuckle at the places
That they're supposed to.
Yeah. You know you're on a roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love it.
So I love the now aspect of theater that you must have. You got to get it right now.
Right.
Yeah. No. Second take two.
Nah. Giving it right
But
now.
that prepared me for film.
For film.
I was dubbed, when I did The Lunatic, they dubbed me One Take Campbell. Where's One Take Campbell? Oh, that's really saving us some money.
He's good for the budget. I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me when I tell you that I'm having as much fun as you are watching what's going on right here. So I appreciate it so much because you don't oftentimes get to speak to the ones you admire for what they do. You know what I mean? You see them from a distance. And I appreciate you stopping through. There's a lot of things. We don't have that kind of time. That's for another show. We can't get into everything. Now, is there anything, I know sometimes there are things we can speak on and there are things we can't speak on because they're in the pipeline and so forth. Is there anything else out there that you need the masses to know about that you got coming up, things that we need to prepare them to go out and support? Because again, keyword here is support. We put hard work and blood and sweat and tears and a lot of money in this stuff. It ain't free. You know what I mean?
True.
So we need a community to go out there and support our own. We eagerly go out there and support things that don't belong to us, support our own. What do we need to have these guys prepared?
Oh, man, we should always remember that. Always support your own. Always, you know. keep that dollar in your neighborhood for more than 2 months,
Wow.
if you can.
Wow.
Please.
Don't give it back.
No, don't be running out and buying that no truck or no nothing, man.
Right.
Go buy the something from the butcher down on the road there, so buy the little command thing there. So
Yeah.
make that dollar they go and bounce wrong.
Support the community.
Yeah, man. But that's how everybody else do it. Why aren't we the only ones who
They're supporting their own community and we're
so
supporting them.
starstruck, so blink struck? Well, I mean, I forgot to buy that chain there, that chain there gonna go wicked with my outfit.
As it devalues when you leave the store.
You know.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. We're about to get up out of here, but I have a lot of things here. Let's see. Mitch says, would he introduce his art to West Palm Beach? I'm sure it's coming. Come to Fort Lauderdale, support the movement. Let's see how it goes down here with all the love that we're going to get down here. Won't be able to keep it down here too long, so it'll have to come to Palm Beach. It'll have to go to Miami.
No choice.
Give us no choice, all right? And we're going to see what we can do to bring the three artists back in here. And they can share more intimate information about the upcoming events.
We'd love to, but as soon as we fine tune, and
right.
know Wagwan, and because what it is, that like I said, you remember when I first spoke about a production, I'd like to put that together again. What it means, man. So you can truly come out, enjoy a wonderful evening, and have fun.
Have a memorable experience.
Yeah, because it's all about laughter,
Yeah.
It's nothing more, nothing tragic, nothing.
Right.
And the paintings, something to keep it's your head. It's going to be in your head that evening, all day. Fantastically so,
I love it.
Come on. But like I said, Cole, I'm coming in,
Right.
and we'll talk about it.
I love it.
All right, my brother.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Again, I appreciate everybody that's been locked in and for as long as you have, humoring me as I have a blast here with the legendary Mr. Paul Campbell himself. So on behalf of myself, on behalf of all the Homegrown listeners,
Yes, sir.
I want to say thank you so much for stopping through, blessing us with your knowledge. I so appreciate it.
Thank you so very much for having me. Much love and respect.
Pleasure's all mine. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has indeed been a pleasure. Remember, subscribe to the podcast, Homegrown with G. Cole. It's available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all your podcast platforms, all right? And check out the website, Homegrown with G. Cole, for all things homegrown. Remember, be kind, be good, and if you can't be good, we'll leave it right there, all right? Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
Nakikinig sa música, Homegrown with G. Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G. Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G. Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole.
Remember, all the music played here on the podcast Homegrown with G. Cole is available on iTunes, Spotify, and all your digital retailers. Please support the artists.